Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Ignore why my hair's tied up because I was doing some cleaning. I was cleaning it, sorry. But another day, another win with the top. Well done, Arsenal. Fucking hell. And obviously I've just seen the City result. They've dropped points, and that couldn't go any better for us because now the gap is now back to 5 with a game in hand, and it's 7 at the moment. So it's gone exactly how we want it to go. From that perspective, well done. We done our bit. City done theirs. They drop points and we move. Now on to the game. Oh my god, that game was horrid. Add that to another game where I am not watching that again, to be honest. I am not. There's very few games this season where I've said that. Actually, there's a lot of games I've said that. But like I said in the previous match reaction, and I'll say in this one, we're now game week, so there's about 8 to 7 games left of this season now. At this back end of the season, it's just about grinding the results. Just grind the results, get what you need, and just get out. There's no need to get all hesitant and all hyperficial about this performance and that performance and X, Y, and Z. This is my lucky shirt. So between now and the end of the season, games, cup games, Champions League, I will be wearing this because now, you know, it's brought on good vibes, and hopefully Arsenal can finally get over the line. So from that, great. Brighton is a weird team because under De Zerbi, Graham Potter, who did they have after Graham Potter? Obviously, I don't even know who this guy manager is. And they had someone else. They had someone else after De Zerbi. I can't remember. But anyways, I think it is him, but they had someone else in between. But Brighton have always been a team that you just don't know what kind of Brighton you're getting. You can either get a Brighton team that will look like prime Bayern Munich, or you can get a Brighton team that will lose 7-0 to Forest. Like, you just don't know what kind of Brighton team you get. And to be honest, we've walked out of Chelsea, Spurs, and Brighton with 9 points. And to be honest, after that Wolves game, I did not think we'll walk out with that 9 points. We've somehow gone through. We have walked through this tricky part of the season where every game is just, it feels difficult to watch and difficult on edge, because at 1-0, pretty much the whole entire game, you're biting your nails. Even though Brighton didn't look like they were gonna score, in a sense, they look threatening, quotation, but they didn't look like they were gonna score. That's the difference. So this game was always going to look very, very much on edge, because although it wasn't like a Brentford where they were launching the hell out of those balls into the center of that pitch, and it's causing all sort of chaos. Brighton kind of bring the football to you, and we struggled a little bit because the initial press, the front three press, they had Jorginho, Mitoma, and I forgot who the other guy is. That initial press made it so difficult for us to build from the back, because every time that ball kept going to Mosquera or Gabriel, there's almost like a triangle of Brighton players with that just ready to box us up, and it just made it so difficult to play out from the back, and we almost conceded. I've always said it, Ryan gives me anxiety, and that's never going to change, because what the hell was that in the first 10 minutes? Because Belabor, I don't know why, I don't even know what within the first 10 minutes, we almost conceded straight away. But yeah, the whole theme of this game is the first kind of 5-10 minutes, we're trying to play out from the back. We can't. Why? Because Brighton's high press is very difficult. and not only that, the three players behind them are workhorse. Pascal Gross, Baleba, um, who else is there? And that, I forgot, is that Jack something? They've got proper worksman midfield, and it's just so difficult we found it so difficult to kind of play our game, because the moment we beat that initial first press, which was very rarely, you have Baleba there ready to sweep you up. And Brighton are very good on the ball. They move the ball very, very quickly. And ultimately, it made it so difficult for us. We just looked fatigued. We looked knackered. We looked tired. We looked out of ideas. And to be honest, I think throughout the whole game, I didn't see a lot of opportunities where we were building sustained attacks. I'm trying to think on top of my head. The only one we did, obviously, was through Saka. Lucky goal. You take it, at that point, because you think that opens up. And for a good majority of that game, I was saying we need a second goal because Brighton were knocking on the door, but they were huffing and puffing. Gyökeres didn't have his best game. Look, he was back to his old self today. Ball bobbling off his shin, struggling to control it. Every time he's trying to dribble the ball, it almost feels like the ball is just a couple yards left, right, or a bit behind him. And in games like this, where we're struggling to kind of create momentum and create sustained attacks, that's when you need someone like a Jesus or like a Havertz who can hold the ball up and bring our forward line together. Because this game was just about grinding the results out. Even though I'm not really a fan of Martinelli starting games, in a game like this where we are constantly on the back foot, we need that defensive work of Martinelli, because although he might not be able to keep the ball on the other side, he can definitely track back and add numbers in our defense. Because this was a nothing game. I'll be so honest, we didn't really create much. We didn't really sustain anything throughout the whole 90 minutes. Saka was out all on his own. And look, we got Mansfield in the cup. I like to see some of the players rested, and to be honest with you, I don't even want to see most of them travel to Mansfield. Give them a break, because they look knackered. Zubimendi looks tired. Saka looks tired. Timber definitely looks tired, and the whole squad looks jaded. And we're going through now the final stretch of the season. We're now in the back end of the season now. 5-point lead. It's a comfortable lead, but do not let it at any point. Do not let that slip at any point. So we definitely need to just calm it down a little bit, control the game, and just ride it through. But yeah, it was an on edge type of watch, because we just did not have much going on. So we'll just talk about the discourse, because it's hard not to talk about the discourse around Arsenal at the moment. Happy for the team, we've won. Let's keep it moving and let's keep moving forward. But obviously, because I don't do this I don't upload often apart from match reactions, which I'm going to start doing soon. I miss a lot of the news and discourse that goes around Arsenal during post games, and obviously these sort of reactions goes after my match reaction. But just the general discourse about Arsenal, I just find it very, very disingenuous. I'm not the one to pander to a lot of these Arsenal fans, because I feel like a lot of them bring it onto themselves, and we don't help ourselves with how loud we are. But it's also something that we need to discuss, because the language used, especially with the treatments towards the corners, I'm seeing, someone like Paul Scholes saying, we shouldn't hand out the Premier League title this year. Where was this chat when Leicester finished on 81 points and won the league, and the numerous amount of seasons United won it on less than 85 points. So it's just a suited narrative now that we're creating. Like, I'm even hearing things like the refs now are against City and they want Arsenal to win. you know, and then I'll come back and tell you, you know, when Son deliberately missed that one-on-one. No one said anything about match fixing. You know, they were all memes about, you know, look at Son, what a massive opportunity for him to score against Man City, against Ortega in the 80th minute, completely misses the ball. Completely misses the goal and hits the keeper. And you know, there's actually a funny commentary back. I remember this game actually when it came. So it gave me flashbacks. It was when 2010 at home against Chelsea. I remember this game actually. It was I think we lost 3-0. Didier Drogba. There's a passage where he scores the first goal, and have a listen closely to that commentary. Arsenal play the football, Chelsea get the goals. And now it's funny how that whole script has turned, and now we're trying to recreate the rule book and all these things, guys. This is now a part of football. Do I like it? No. I've said it in multiple occasions. What happened to, you know, players being on the back post? You know, that goal conceded against Chelsea doesn't happen if you have a player on the back post, because that's an easy off the line clearance, you know, and it's just so annoying that there's clearly a anti-campaign against Arsenal, but there's also a fair discourse on Arsenal about how we're playing, which is fair. I understand our play is slow, and at times we look very lethargic. But then on the flip side, to crash it on us when they score a set piece about the manhandling and stuff like this, cool. The manhandling stuff, yeah, penalty or penalty not. Chelsea were doing the exact same thing. I don't hear the energy and the scuff about them doing these sort of things. It's only about us. The discourse is only about us. So, look, I think, yeah, maybe at one point I'll do this at the end of the season. But anyways, happy, 3 points, average performance. We looked tired. It was almost like you got a ball, you're trying to play with your dog. You finally throw that ball, he chases it, and that's our goal. He brings that ball back, and then you try and throw it again at him. He can't be asked to run. He can't be asked to get up and go chase it. He's tired now. He's walking around, but he's not doing anything. That's Arsenal. That was at this game today. Doing a lot, but not really doing anything. We barely created anything. I think 6 attempts and 1 on target, and that was a Saka goal. But anyways, we keep it moving. Bournemouth at home next. I'll see you lot at Mansfield. I think it's the weekend off, or Mansfield is this week. I don't know, but I'll see you guys later. Ignore what's happening with my head, I know, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next match reaction.